A very pleasant good afternoon to all of you, and a very warm welcome to this fourth day of our faculty development program. I hope you all are getting benefits of knowledge from our esteemed speakers. I'm very pleased to recognize the presence of Dr. P. Maliga, Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research. Dr. P. Maliga has done her PhD from University of Madras in Engineering Education. She has done two master's degree, one from Anna University in bioresearch and second from BITS Pilani in software systems. She has done her bachelor's from University of Madras. She has more than 24 years of experience in teaching and training, published 20 articles in national and international journals. Her research interests are DBMS, open source software, text mining, natural language processing, cloud computing, e-learning, instructional design, instructional media development. Now I invite Dr. P. Maliga to come and take session on virtual and augmented reality in teaching.
Madam Maliga, have you joined? She has recently joined. Yeah, now she's connected. Ma'am, can you hear us? Good afternoon, madam.
But she has
Maliga, madam, good afternoon.
Yes, there is some problem in our
network connection.
Just getting it. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we are able to hear you, ma'am. And in between, I would like to welcome Professor Anuj Deshpande also, who has already joined with us. So, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we'll have the second session from his side. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Can I start my session?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Madam, we have already given an introduction about you. I think that time you had not joined. So apologies for that. So shall we repeat or can we go ahead?
We can go ahead because I joined and I had a few problem here. So I just went back and again joined. So no issues.
All right.
So thank you very much.
Yeah.
I will start the session. I will share the screen and I will start the session.
Sure.
Okay?
Thank you so much. Yes,
thank you. Thank you. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, madam, it is visible.
Okay, let me start the session. So today the topic given to me is immersive technology, that is extended reality, AR, VR and MR in education, or particularly they said me to talk about teaching. Okay, so let me start my session. So you all know, okay, let me start the session with these words. Okay, as long as I live, so long do I learn. This has been given by Ramakrishna. And the today's investment guru, you can say that Warren Buffett, right? He has said the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn, right? So with these words, okay, I would like to start my session. And his disciple, Ramakrishna's disciple, Swami Vivekananda also has said that as long as I live, so long do I learn. That man or that society which has nothing to learn is already in the jaws of death. Okay, so we know that whether you're a teacher or a faculty or an industry or a professional or a common man, if you want to, if the society or if a person has to go along, we have to keep updating ourselves. Okay, learning is a continuous process. If you look at education, right, the most top disruptive education technology is one is online learning. Okay, so now because of this COVID pandemic thing, we know that how this online learning has become a vital or a part of our education system, right? And then we went into the innovative teaching methods like flipped learning, blended learning. All this was possible because of integrating technology in our teaching learning process. Okay. And now if you look at the top disruptive education technologies, you can see how AI, that is artificial intelligence, has disrupted our teaching learning. Many of you would know the GPT, okay, chat GPT, which gives what we want. Okay, if I want an essay about something, or if I want something on that, immediately it is taking from so many sources without any plagiarism. It is building so many content and it is giving to us. And we have AI enabled LMS, many things, so which offers us an individualized and personalized learning environment, AI. And the next one is the chat-based collaboration. So if you take any website or any place, if you go, there is automatically any apps, if you open, there is some chat bots, right? It is asking, how can I help you, right? The familiar, the popular, frequently asked questions are done by the chat bots. And if it is any particular thing, then we go to the human thing, right? So that lot of things are happening, autonomous things are happening, right? And the next one is the virtual and augmented reality. Here, this is where I am going to discuss for the rest of the 1.5 hours with you, virtual and augmented reality, AR, VR. And it has penetrated into all things. Like I can say, they are creating new means of education by opening doors for the students to learn and teachers to instruct in a very more immersive technological environment. See, for example, medical school students, no, they can they engage in experiential or I can say it is experimental surgeries in virtual reality environment. And biology people are able to engage with plants, mammals, birds, insects, whatever it is, and via these technology simulations. But not all universities have the equal access to leverage these and other emerging technologies. This means that some students will face disadvantage in their preparation on the job market because of lack of economy and network resources to engage with the new technologies, right? But if you look at new generation student or generation Z learners, as a teacher or as a faculty, I should know how do the present day students learn, right? So these, I have just put the general learner characteristics of the present generation Z learners. And if you look at these things, a teacher should understand how do they learn, and according to their needs, you know, we have to prepare or we have to provide them that type of environment, a learning environment or learning content to them. So I just spend 1 or 2 minutes on it. How do the present generation Z learners learn? So if you look at any learner, no, they are multimodal learners. You could have heard about this word, multimodal learners. What do you mean by multimodal learners? That is, they learn from variety of sources. In those days, when I was a student, okay, engineering college or school, the only source of information was my teacher. And the next thing was the book. Now it is not like that, right? The students are able to have access and they learn through audio, video, charts, infographics, many things, simulations, animations. So they are all called multimodal learners. They learn from variety of sources. No, the students are very good at discovering information, and they have shorter attention span, right? If you see that in higher education, we can say around they'll have around 10 to 12 minutes of attention span, or 7 to 10 minutes. They also say in lower classes, right? The attention span is decreasing, and they have a shorter attention span. They prefer a very flexible learning environment. They prefer a very relaxed learning environment. They like to have informal and simulating environment. They prefer active learning. They don't want to sit passive in the class, stare at the teacher or at the board or at the PPT, and then they learn. They want to actively participate in the learning. Okay, and they prefer interaction and collaboration. They are experiential learners. They want to experience and see. They, whatever you say, no, they want to see it or do it, like, and then learn from that. And of course, they are very comfortable with the technology, and they are multitasking, and they learn a lot from their friends, and they are particularly extremely relational. That is, they need motivation or appreciation that has to come from the teacher. Okay, they need a lot of things. Very few students are self-motivated. Otherwise, they need a push from us, right? So these are the general learner characteristics. If you look at it, okay, the first point is a multimodal learners. They learn from variety of sources. Now, no, even in our daily life also we need variety, no? The same dosa, if you give, you can see how our kids react. Dosa or idli, they want variety. I have to put lot of things, toppings, different things, and then serve that. Base is same only. Like that, the content will be the same, but we have to present it in a different ways. So they have grown up in such a environment. So only this books and textbooks is not sufficient for them, because the world around them is so active, so engaging, so immersive. Why can't we produce our content in such type of things? Okay, so that is a need for us. So when you look at the teachers, no, like the role of the teacher has changed from the sage on the stage to the guide by the side. Even I can say, not even guide by the side, we are becoming a co-constructor of learning. Okay, so I always remember this advertisement whenever I say this things. Okay, in Baiju they say you are no more a parent, you are a partner, right? So we are no more a teacher, we are co-learner. So that is how it is happening. We are in higher education, particularly in higher education, lot of emerging things comes, lot of technology updations are there. We have to learn ourselves, we have to equip ourselves so that to serve the society and the education system, right? So we have a bigger role, like we are also acting as a guide by the side, co-constructor of learning, facilitator, resource person, media person, many things. So this is why. So when I say multimodal learners, they learn from variety of sources, I said. So what type of sources you can have? If you look at it, any content can be available as a text form. It can be available as a visual, like image or a graphic, or it can be a rich internet applications like websites, blogs, and other things. And then it can be audio, video, simulation, animation, games, e-journals, database, presentation, interactives, e-books, okay? And you can now see that immersive content. So the immersive content is AR and VR, right? Where the content has been developed so that they truly engage into it, okay? So this is what we are going to concentrate, the immersive content, AR and VR, right? So how many people are very new to this? I think it is not at all a new jargon. Now everybody is using it, not only in education, in every part of our life, in all sectors. In all sectors it is being used, and it has to come to the mainstream, and it is already coming, all right? And you could have seen energized books or QR books. So if you look at our CBSE books or NCRT books or state, or even our state board books, no, from 1st standard to 12th standard, they have this QR code in their books. We never had that, right? So the QR code is there, the Diksha application is there. They have to download the Diksha application in their mobile, And when they place their mobile phone over the QR code, immediately there is a song played, or there is a 3D model appearing, or there is a video appearing according to the content and context. Many things has been augmented to the books. I think everybody could have seen, like either your students or your children using those type of books, okay, with every chapter it has a QR code. And a lot of gamification is also be done, okay. So now I'm going into the technology, immersive technology. Particularly, I'm not going into the other areas of engineering and other things. Wherever it is applicable, I will be able to say more on the technology and on the how it can be used in the education. That is what we are going to do with. Particularly, it is used in all type of medical engineering, any soft skill, anything can be done through this one. The training development has been taking place in a very fast manner. Okay, now what is immersive technology? So this immersive technology creates a distinct experience by merging the physical world with a digital or simulated reality. Okay, so we live in the real world. This is whatever world we are, that is a real world or the physical world. In the physical world, if you augment or if you add a digital object, that is called AR, augmented reality. Adding a digital object into the real world is augmented reality, augmenting reality. And when you are in a totally a virtual world where you are cut off from the real world, a new world, okay, that is virtual reality. It's a virtual digital space. Okay, so now this two extreme, real world and the virtual world, you can augment with digital object. Again, in the virtual world also, the real things can come. So the line, the continuum, these things now slowly they are mixing up. So something with the virtual world, you can interact with the real object, that is called the AR, that is called MR, that is mixed reality, or you can say it is a AR 2.0. Okay, so you should know what is virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality. They are the principal types of immersive technology. Different types of hardware, software are required. Very slight difference only. But these technologies share many of the same qualities. Okay. Next is, if you look at it, there are so many industries. Every industry is using it. Today I had 2 calls. One is from the dental doctor. So they have some projects which they wanted to work with AR. So they are also VR. So before the surgery, they want to know how the person will look with the all those teeth and other things, whatever set they will put it. And when they like it, then they go in for preparing all such type of teeth and other things, right? So for all these things, they are using it. So for many things. So today I had how to create, they had some doubts in that. They are also learning. I'm also learning on the other part of the medical things, right? So here, so in education, so in training, development, and if you look at the schools, in US and other things, already all the schools have started using AR and VR in their, it is like how we are using the projector and other things. Like that, they are using it, okay, for many things. I'll give you some examples later, right? And then healthcare, particularly medical, right, for training and development, as well as they are doing now remote surgery using this. They are using remote surgery. People, because Not only the visuals and hearing, you can do it, even all the senses they are trying to the things. So when you touch, some patient, how can you remotely operate somebody? Okay, the doctor is in US, the patient is in Singapore, and another doctor is in India. They all operate on a person who is in Singapore. How do they do that? They give instruction. They see that through their glasses, right? And every detailing is being seen remotely. So that they call it as remote surgery. And they are able to do it. The instruction is being given to the robot, and the robot does it. The haptics is touch, right? The pressure, the temperature, everything it is able to get. They are able to sense it, and it has been recorded, and it has been everything in all in fraction of minutes, because of this wireless technology and other things. They are able to get it. They are able to do it. Many things are happening, right, in healthcare. So not only in training, even in treatment of patients. In treating the patients also, it has been taken care, right? And lot of episodes are there to see in what way. I can just talk about 1.5 hours only the applications in healthcare. So much of things are there, right? And then, of course, air and space. This is where the first it started, the simulations, when the pilot training and other things, all they don't jump into the flight for training. They have simulators, they train, and all those things. And particularly the most advanced things is the defense, the military, defense, Air Force, Navy, all those, they are extensively using this AR, VR technology in training and development, as well as in war field also they are using it. So they have gone somewhere. So now it is coming to the common people, right? So here in air and space, a lot of things are being done. And of course, now you can see virtual tours, right? So sitting in a place, you can see how Taj Mahal is there, a 360-degree video, just putting a glass on you, and then you can visualize all those things. So if you have seen Google expeditions, see previously what our teachers used to do. So annually there will be a tour, where they'll take outside our school, a long trip will be there, and all those things. Here now that is also there. Here you can also have virtual tours. So many things. Just go to the YouTube and see virtual tours. Only thing, you should have a glass. Just put that headset, HMD, head mounted device. Aram say you can sit on the chair and then see Himalayas, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, everything you can, whatever you want, you can, and you will feel as if you are there, right? That is the thing. You will be immersed in that. And during the pandemic, this was operated very nicely by the travel people, right? And then automotives. So if you take any car company, like BMW, Tesla, many things, everywhere they have this VR. So it is in every range, it is there. If you want to have a very sophisticated, hi-fi, these cars, first they will be putting you, they will give you the design. You can choose everything, the height, weight, color, this, that, seating arrangement, and then what are all the things you wanted in that car. Everything is being placed virtually, and then if you get satisfied, that has been manufactured and given to you. Okay, customized design can be done. And not only that, a person who wants to have a test drive, now they are not going on the road. Through virtual thing, they are test driving it, marketing it. Many things are done in automobile, like Oracle. Many people are working with many of the companies, and they are producing such type of applications to them. And real estate. Now, previously, when we want to buy some flat or apartment, there will be a model apartment there. They will go and show us, no, this is how it will look, one model apartment. And if you want to make some changes, you can tell them, they'll do it. Now what? It is all in one office, not even the building has come. So they give you some marker thing. You can either scan it, or you can, if another AR is also there, VR is also there, you can just put it and see how it is. You can have a walkthrough on it, right? And then you can choose the design, everything. You can sit in your place, choose it accordingly, and you can customize it, and then you can give the design to the people to do that. So it is used in real estate, skilled trades. So if you look at it, like in mining, safety, now IIT professor Madras has released one training schedule for fire and safety for the engineers, for the people who are working on it. And of course, in ships, submarines, many things, whatever, like if you want to learn how it works, all the trades are available. They are customizing the package. The training is being given. After the student or the learner gets trained, then they are put into the real thing to work on it. Then journalism, of course, and then like metaverse, many things are happening. Okay, you can sit in a place and then do it. Retailing. Now any shop, if you go, nowadays Lenskart, they are having AR apps. So you can choose, the camera is there, it will capture our face, and then you can choose different types of frames, and then you can, whichever suits you like that, you can place the order for furnitures, for clothing, many things, all retailing. Walmart has acquired so much of this for for this soft skill training for their shop people, right? So in many things they are using it in marketing. All these things are the industries. You can just you cannot leave anything, right? Everything they are doing it. And what is now getting into the crux? What is augmented reality? Combining a real scene view by the user and a virtual scene generated by the computer is known as an augmented reality. So augmenting the scene with additional information. So it adds virtual. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
you're
yes,
audible.
okay. So here, lot of applications are there, and you know that in 2016, the first game, AR game was given, that was Pokemon Go. I do not know how many people have played that or seen your children playing that game. Now it is not, it has been banned in India. Like people, because they are so immersed into it. So in the real world, they are playing with the digital objects. Okay. So they move around on the road, in the park, on the water, in the water, everywhere. They go and try to catch that Pokemon. So it is dangerous also, no? So that is why. And yes, so that is Pokemon. And now people are using it in all the fields. So remotely they take any machine, they operate it, they give or they service it, they maintenance, everything they are doing it, right? So the goal is to enhance a person's performance and perception of the real world, right? Is it moving? Okay. Yes. So what is it? It is combining or augmenting. It can be anything. It can be video, or it can be a photographic display by overlaying the images with useful computer generated data. So what it does, it combines the field of computer vision and computer graphics. So everything has to be digitally made, computer graphics, and not only made, it has to, you are going to interact with it, So with the digital object, you are going to make some interaction. So how you are, so a lot of things should be there. All right. So for example, the marker, feature detection, tracking, motion detection, image analysis, gesture recognition. You can see some people know they just will be working like this, talking like this. They are doing some motion. So it is capturing, it is able to, when I click somewhere in the air, that means I am giving some instruction to it and it is getting it. So the gesture recognition, everything is being done. Okay. So that is what. So computer graphic as it relates to AR includes, for example, photorealistic rendering and interactive animation. Okay. So it is no, when you look at VR is totally you're cut off from the virtual, sorry, you're cut off from the real world. You're into another world, right? And this is not a new thing. It started in 1956. You can see that is the Sensodrama was the first one or the most earliest VR system that was invented. And it was called the Sword of Damocles. That means, see, imagine those days, the computer itself was so huge. And imagine this type of HMD is head-mounted device. Okay, these head-mounted device was so huge, they were like a sword of Damocles, right? I can show you, there's a picture also. I can see, this is what, this is the sword, such a big one, a rod. See, you can see here, this hanging from the, it's like a sword of Damocles. This was the first VR device, which was invented by this man called Ivan Sutherland. He is the father of computer graphics, okay, right? So like this, it came and then there was some silence. Then Google introduced a street view, which provide a panoramic views of location. Now, if you see this Google Maps, now previously only it was a 2D map. Now you have a beautiful view, no, the street view, just like that, how it appears. Have you seen that? In your mobile, it is there. Just see, just put street view. If you see the street view as if you are walking on the street, you are looking at those doors, windows, everything will be there, right? It is not like a 2D map, right? And then you can see that first prototype of Oculus Rift headset was designed. Then Facebook acquired Oculus. Then Sony introduced to many things like for gaming and other things, no, PS4, Xbox, and other Microsoft Xbox. All these things they had, and every company and every big giants are working on this. Okay, Apple awarded the patent for head-mounted display apparatus. Then 15, Google launched Cardboard, a very cheapest. Everyone can buy it. It's less than 1,000 rupees. Okay, but what it is made up of cardboard, actual cardboard, and it has a lens. And we have to keep our mobile phone inside and use it as a VR device. Okay, then if you have some more money, you can have instead of cardboard, it can be some materials like that plastic or something like that. And then if you have very good funding, now there are so much sophisticated wireless headsets are available. Previously in 2015-16, we had wired headset. Wired headset, it has its own disadvantage. I cannot move anywhere. No, like I have to be within the boundaries and I have to use it. Now it is all wireless. You can sit at any place, view it, and or see it, right? So these are things happening. Yeah, this was the, I said, no, 1968. Most of us were not born even during that time. Okay, the first VR system and the first AR system was done. Although it was simple wireframe graphics, the project was the genesis of AR. Sutherland wrote about his work in Harvard University paper titled "A Head-Mounted Three-Dimensional Display." It was only a graphics, wireframe graphics, but at that time, even that was very, very big thing. Sutherland system required that user wear a cumbersome HMD so it was so heavy, it had to be suspended from the ceiling. Based on this, the device was nicknamed the Sword of Damocles. Okay, so this is what. So how they have done it. So then the sensor drama, many things, the physics, chemistry, physics, lighting principles, everything they made it. And now you can see that. Now you can see that a lot of things like HTC Hive headset was developed. Then Oculus Rift was released. Then Sony introduced the PlayStation, and Microsoft launched the Xbox. Then Facebook released the camera-loaded glasses optimized for social VR. Then Oculus Go headset was released. Many things are happening. Sony announced it has sold more than 4 million PSVR headset. And in 2021, more than 85 million VR headset will be in use in China, according to PwC. Then 2023, cloud-based VR gaming will be increasingly prominent, supported by 5G network. Now the big Epic Games, no? Unreal Engine, Epic Games. Now you can develop. Previously, you need a very, very sophisticated system to work on it, to develop as well as to use it. Now, because of this cloud technology, you need not have, it is not required that you should have everything. Using the cloud technology, you can also develop games, you can play games. Many things are happening. And VR will be a $28 billion market according to the global data forecast. So such is the thing, right? So this is how it has begun, okay, and from 1965 to now presently. And if you see, they are the teachers, Ivan Sutherland and David Evans. And if you see their students are the big shots like Adobe CEO, then Atari, SGI. These are the big names in graphics, no? So their students were the pioneer in all those things. And this is how it has, from how the University of Ottawa, this is what, right? And right, now we'll go into, yes. So if you look at it, VR technology completely immerses a user inside a completely artificial environment where user cannot see the real world around him. Okay, in AR, user can see the real world with virtual objects superimposed upon or composited with the real world. What is the difference? How many people know the difference about it? Can you just put me in the chat? What is, see, if you want to work on, or if you want to see AR apps, what do you require? Okay, there is a question, ma'am, what is a cardboard? Yes, cardboard is the Google Cardboard. Like, let me just, I will show here. Okay, one second. Whether I just whether I have it in my, okay. Okay, I'll just show you. So this is Google Cardboard. You are able to see? Am I sharing my screen? You are able to just said, okay, at the end of the session, we'll take questions. Okay, but still, right, I have saw this question, I'm answering it. Google Cardboard. So this is the cardboard. Okay, it acts like a head-mounted device. Okay, head-mounted device. So, but actually inside the cardboard, you have to insert your, see, this is how it looks, okay? Right, you have to insert your, see here, you can see, this is what it will have. then you will be inserting your mobile phone here. When you insert your mobile phone, you can use it as a head mount, HMD, that is head mounted device, and you can work on it, right? So you can have you can make your own head mounted device if the mobile is there. Okay, this is called Google Cardboard, right? Yes. Okay. Right. Now I need a little interaction. So you tell me, for using AR apps, what are the things you require? As an end user, what equipment, what hardware, software should I need to use AR in my life for anything? See, for AR, you need two things. One is a mobile or a tab. Yeah, mobile. Neha said no, mobile. You need a mobile or a tab, right? Then an application. Okay, that's it. And you have hundreds of applications on your mobile phone. You go to the Google store, either it will be iOS, Apple, or it will be Android. Only two most familiar mobile OS. So all the apps has been developed either mostly both or for Android or for Apple, iOS. Okay, so mobile has the iOS or Android, and then you need the apps to be installed, applications to be installed. It is available, it will be, or it can be available in your Apple Store or Google Store. Download it. For viewing it, mobile is there. That's it. Already you have hundreds of apps in your hand. We are not using it. Some will be free, some will be paid version, some will be shareware. To some extent you can use it. So just go explore what is available according to your requirement. Okay, so there is apps to paint, to learn painting, to do painting, to learn something, to learn a language, to learn anything. You have a lot of applications available. To learn about the space, to learn about anything, you need you have a lot of applications. Where is my, yeah. Then, so one second, where is, yes, so this is yeah, and for VR, you need a the head mounted device. Okay, headset we say, or head mounted device we said. So we need a head mounted device for VR, and when you put it on your head, and it will be totally closed, no, like you can, it is not like our specs or glass. It will be covered totally, and it will be cut off from the real world. You will be into the virtual world. Here also there are from simple to complex, even from cardboard to high-end things are there, right? So now you need now a lot of the Oculus, HP gear, many things, many I know very few, and I have here 10 different types of sets. I have it in my institute for teaching learning purpose. So so what the system itself, the computer itself is there. Okay, so I can do it. Am I audible? Yeah, fine. And then this is how it is going on. Right. The next is, yeah, totally immersed. Visual sensors are under the control of the system, sometimes oral and the proprioceptive senses too. The other things also. The system, oh, 1 second. Hello. Hello. Yes, I'm in a class. Huh? Hello. Okay, needs some, sorry, there was some call. I thought it is from your college. Okay, it needs system augments that real world system. Okay, user maintains a sense of presence in the real world, needs a mechanism to combine the real and virtual world. Okay, just think. See, during the pandemic, what happened is, what happened to our classes? We were all higher education institution went into the online classes, and we were doing the teaching learning process. And of course, schools also. But look at the uh, primary schools or the classes, primary session, kindergarten classes. There were very few people went to the they had online. How even when you want to join a school, immediately when you start with the online class, what will happen? So here there is one thing. It was so interesting, and I wanted to share with you how from the what is it? The Kerala. It is the Malappuram. Okay, the school teachers of Malappuram, they introduced this augmented reality to their online classes for the students. So they took around 2 months to do it, but beautifully they did it, and they were recognized for it. So maybe it's one way of it. During their, see, usually what happens is when you're young, people used to show the concrete objects, right? When you are going for a school for the first time, apple means the teacher brings an apple and shows, right? Right. That is how the child or a baby learns. So they see, they feel, and then they smell, and then they learn those things. Abstract things comes later in the class. Let x is equal to 5, all those things, all that imagination and other thing, abstract things in the middle school or high schools it comes. But in the lower classes, we show them everything concrete. So we take them from concrete to abstract. So in that case, how will you show them elephant or a picture also? How can you show? Okay, a picture you can show, but how can you can make it very interesting? So they thought of using this AR. Now you could have seen some AR applications also where you can have AR books. Okay, AR Safari books are there where yeah, this is also there. See, they now everybody sells it, right? So out of stock, it says, right? So what happens is there are so many books available. I'll show you some videos. Yeah. So now all the books are coming as AR books. Okay, the student is the baby or student or learner, whoever it is. The kids are using this. No, the book is there. Then they put their apps. That is apps they are giving. Then they are using the tab or the mobile phone on it, and you can see a digital object coming over the book, and they are able to work on it, interact on it, and all those things you can do it, right? See crocodile like this. This is rhinoceros. So you could have seen our picture books. we had picture books in our classes. Now our future generation will be not only pictures, they'll be having the digital object. They can move that object, they can just within that boundary, they can work on it. And so many things they can learn, right? They'll be so engaged in this one. How it works and all these things have been given. Right now, a lot of things are available. Okay. So a lot of augmented reality books have come, and let me just go back. So like this, the teacher, no, I can also show you this one. Maybe if you can find, you can just put it in the Google and see that a social science teacher at Malappuram with the AR, they were using it like this. Okay, a person from the film industry, they support with the support of him, they were able to show the space, they were able to show a robot, they were able to show the world and earth, sun, moon, everything in the class. Okay, so that is how. And then the government of Karnataka has put 17 monuments and statues in Bengaluru in AR apps. So this is now. Previously, you can also see another one in Padmavati. You just tell me whether you are.
Augmented reality technology. It is located just right opposite to Padmavati Temple in Tirchanur, just 3 kilometers away from Tirupati. It is turning out to be an extravaganza to favorites.
నాయనా శ్రీనివాస రాజకుమార్తె పద్మావతిని మనవాడడం అంతటి సులువైన పని కాదు. ఆమెతో పెళ్లి ఆలోచన విరమించుకో.
Install Padmavati Parinayam app in your iOS or Android mobiles. Open the app and place your device in front of the phone. These images convert into animations and narrate to you the story of Sri Srinivasa Kalyanam.
శ్రీనివాసుని చూసిన రాత్రి నుంచి కంటిపై కొనుక్కు లేదు. కళ్ళ నిండా శ్రీనివాసుని రూపమే ఆమెను కలవరపెట్టింది.
Scintilla Creations, a Hyderabad-based technology company, has developed this technology, the first of its kind in India. This technology is an initiative of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, TTD, under the esteemed guidance of Sri Lakshmi Kantam, JDO.
So you can see that, no, like how AR is being used in our daily life, right? So the even before COVID, it was done. And if you happen to visit to Tirupati, from there it is very few kilometers. There is Padmavati Tirchanur temple where the paintings have been done. And for each of the paintings out in the park, they have developed these storytelling. Okay, so you have to download the apps and put your you have to show the mobile phone over that painting. So that part of the story will come. Usually when we go with our parents or with our elders to temple, we used to see a lot of paintings, sculptures and everything. Sometimes I used to ask what is it. Sometimes my mother used to say, right? And sometimes she'll be very busy or occupied with some work. And sometimes she doesn't know some of the stories also. So what happens? And nowadays, there's no time for father or mother to tell all stories. So only technology has to be used. but our children are learning so many things using this technology. So that is how it is being used in teaching, learning, and all those things. Where in all the museums, no, if you look at all the museums now, they are converted, they are things. You need not stand in a crowd or go to the first place and look at it and learn. So it in your hand, okay, on your hand, you have the mobile. So everything is there, audio, video, 3D, and you can also interact with it. Many things are happening, right? So where is it? I have to, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, right. We were into, yes. What is it? Fine. And if you look at it, the augmented reality is, let's open something else. 1 second, sorry. Yeah. If you look at it, augmented reality is all around the world. And if you see the global, the revenues are set to be in 2020, they said $143.3 million. And it has keep growing. And everyone, Apple, Snapchat, that is an AR chat. Many people are using Google, Upskill, Magic Leap. Everyone has, they have, some are disclosed and some are undisclosed. They are seeing how it has embraced the technology and how a big market is there. So, right. So this is what I was explaining, the real environment and the virtual environment. In the real environment, if you add some digital object, you call it as an augmented reality. This is totally virtual reality, okay, virtual environment. And in the virtual world, if you are augmenting with real objects, then you call it as an augmented virtuality, or you can also call it as mixed reality, or you can also say augmented reality 2.0. What is it you wanted? What is it that is for augmented? We know for AR, we need we need mobile phones. For virtual reality, we need that head-mounted device. For augmented reality, you should not cut off. No, you should not be cut off from the real world. But what happens is glasses. Now you can see Apple is going to introduce a glass. Already Microsoft has introduced 4 years back. It has introduced something called Microsoft HoloLens. Okay, Microsoft HoloLens. This Microsoft HoloLens is a very costly. It is around 3 to 4 lakhs. Okay, here it will be just additional glass like that. That's it. It is not a head mount. I can interact virtually. I can be in the real world. Okay. Now Apple is going to introduce that glass. Like everybody's have. Most of people are having this Apple Watch. Like that, Apple Glass is going to come, which is called the MR Glass. Okay. Now, in education, how you can use it, right? Particularly, many extended reality. Extended reality, when I say, means it is all AR, VR, mixed reality, everything is. It creates more immersive digital experience. Okay. Right. So now this I have just taken from the popular book. The book is like Michael Burr, where he has said how he was so impressed with all these things, AR, VR in education. So bringing science concept to life with augmented reality. Okay, so that is what. So here, like let us say, you can you can create a Toronto, a storm inside the class. Okay, to just bringing a funnel right into the classroom, and the students will be experiencing the destructive storm close up, how it is there. Or you can take the students AR to Beehive and see how the inner workings of it and explore how the bee works together to support the community. Okay, so that is bringing the science concept to life. That is the first thing. And have you heard about the Skyview apps? Skyview. So just note it down. Skyview app allows students to explore the universe using the AR overlays of the night sky. All right. So when you just download this apps and use this VR thing, AR, you can see that you can see in the night sky how you are able to do it, right? And then imagine when you are learning science in your +1, +2 biology class, right? We have to dissect the frogs. Okay, it will not be so interesting for everyone. Many of us were feeling very disgusting. No? It was pretty awful for frogs too also. Catching it and then making it, all those things, all right? Killing it and then dissecting it. So now what happened, there is an application called as Frogpedia, right? So this will explore the internal organs of the frog via this apps, that is AR apps. All I'm telling is AR apps, okay? So why to kill a catch a frog, kill it, and then we are also feeling it very disgusting, and then the other people. So for learning purpose, we are doing it for learning purpose. We are not going to the higher level, no, in classes in 10th and 11th and 12th. We get marks and we forget about it. And some people who work a geologist, or some people work on it more further. For them, it's okay. Later, they can do that. But for learning, there are some now people have given this apps, right? For Froggypedia. And then the next one is, I was telling about Microsoft HoloLens. This has been developed a way for medical students and clinical people and medical students are using extensively to learn about the human body using mixed reality. So student can flow through the blood. So they can see how the blood flows, isolates, enlarge. Even they can walk into the component of the human body. They can learn and understand the anatomy very greatly. And they can also learn how to treat different medical conditions. Okay, so that is how it is being used. And in BBC has developed this one, immersive VR education. They call the name as 1943 Berlin BIST. Okay, this is the name of the application, 1943 Berlin BIST. What it does, okay? So the students, when they are learning this history and other things, so when you just have this application in your VR thing, it gives you a real life footage from the night time raid of a Nazi, what is it, that Germany people, to help the students to understand what it was like to live through a significant historical event. See, we enjoy seeing some historical events, and we also feel, sometimes if it is very bad, like the struggle, the fighting, and if you really look into it and feel for it, our mindset, many things get changed. If you want to have such type of feeling, how it was like that. So this is called the 1943 Berlin BIS. It's a 360 degree. The 360 degree means you can look around, okay? You can top, bottom, side, everywhere, 360 degree. There are some applications for 180 degree, like that. Okay, so it's a 360 degree immersive application. And you will be experiencing the things, okay? When you are in that war, how you will be there in the war field, or what will happen in the night time when you are being raided by the Germany. What is the feeling of it? You like things you can experience. Okay, that's a learning experience. And yes, most teacher cannot take their students to the base camp at Mount Everest, no? Or they cannot take them to the visit to the Lowry. But you can do both with the help of this highly immersive school trips called Google Expedition. You just go there. The only thing you need a VR set, and Google, from the Google Expedition things, you can download the apps, and the students can have these trips. Schools are using, Common Man are using, many things are there, right? So this is then virtual speech. See, let us say you want to talk before the audience. You are good at some technical things and you have been asked to present a TED talk, right? Usually, though we talk in our classes and other things, when you want to talk, when you want to deliver a TED talk, you need some practice, no? Or something. I'm just giving an example. It can be any public talk. So there is something called virtual speech. There is no space here. Okay, the name of the application, virtual speech. So you can download that, and you can improve your public speaking skills with immersive, realistic, virtual reality simulation. Okay, the stage, everything will be there, how to stand, how to do it, and all those things it is there, right? So then I am just giving the top applications of AR, VR applications in education, which have been extensively used by most of the teachers. And then if you look at it, the next is the STEAM's VR Museum of Fine Art. Okay, that is the name of it. So here it allows the user to view the world-class paintings and sculptures close up. See, you can view Mona Lisa without, see, when you go to a museum, either it will be protected under the glass, or you cannot touch it, all those things, no, in the museum. Here, the crowd, if it is there, you cannot do that. So now here you can do it without all those things, okay? Fine. And this is how it goes on, without fighting with the crowd or with a protective glass. Then the next is training. See, the training companies, no, also they use this extended reality in a professional situation. Now, I told you, like last week, there was a apps released by IIT Madras for fire and safety engineers and personnel who are working in fire and safety. So for training them, and there are likewise, there are many things coming up in every field of things. So training companies are using it very extensively. Today we had a discussion with one of the shipping, what is a CMET, like in Visakhapatnam, right? They are also having the labs where they are developing this AR, VR for training their marine engineers and sea people and all those things with all the required content, right? So it has been used extensively, and police departments are now using VR to train officers to deal with riots or arrest people in a specific situation in an effort to make streets for citizens and officers alike, right? So like this, in every field, they are using it for training purpose. And the next is the virtual reality education software companies like Mondly. So this is one of the company which allows you to learn foreign languages. Okay, so you can learn foreign languages. So when you want to learn, see, with the read and write, with the book and other things, you can learn. Unless otherwise you practice, you cannot acquire that skill. I also know how to read and write Hindi, but when if I don't speak Hindi fluently, or practice Hindi with my colleagues or with somebody. Here in Tamil Nadu, we don't have that opportunity. So we forget, no? So otherwise we don't even learn that. But when you put it, you will, okay, if I am there in Noida or Delhi for a few months, I will learn. So like that, we cannot go travel and then learn in foreign languages. If I want to go to Germany or Japan, how to do that, right? So you have to have, so this Monthly VR world, you can have real conversation with the real people, making your language learning more powerful and more likely you can stick to it, right? So these are the different applications, or there are many applications which are available in our teaching learning process. So, okay, the next part is, right, I will just give you another example, right? So let us say you want to, our content, no? So now the teachers are also learning this AR, VR, how to develop and make their content. So some many companies, startup companies and many big companies, they are now working on it. So you know the content, you have to work along with them to develop such applications. Okay, they will be technically thing and you will be in content, you know it. So you can tell them the use cases and you can tell them how the things should happen. They develop according to your requirement and the training is taking place. So there are a lot of people working on it. Now the government of India also is encouraging that lot of startups, many people are working on it. Even the Indian knowledge system also, no? So there are so many applications, apps available. Sitting in your place, you can see the Madurai Meenakshi temple in VR or anything like that. So it gives a very immersive, engaging things. The retention is also more. See, when you see, usually it is a part of an experiential learning. See, in those days, experiential learning means when you go for a trip or when you work with a model, when you do something, you get that experiential learning, we say. Nowadays, AR, VR also is a part of an experiential learning where the retention will be more, engagement will be more, immersive will be more. So this is what I would like to say. So now everyone will be in, maybe in few years, no, how everyone knows about online learning. Previously, we used to talk in 2012, 13 and all, online teaching, online learning. They'll say, madam, why are you telling all these things? This will never happen in India, like that. But what happened thanks to COVID, right? So now every teacher, whether you're a school teacher or a university teacher, they know how to use all the tools. They learned, they upskilled themselves. Then we are able to do that. And if you're learning more things, more effective things can be built, because a lot of challenges are there when it is online learning or online teaching. So a lot of challenges are there. How to break that? All those things, the psychology, the behavior of the students has to be learned, how to motivate them for the online classes, all those things are there. Now, this technology, AR, VR, can be used in classes where so the teacher, see, now I can show you some, maybe I have some of the things. This was taken few years back. Let me, yeah. This is what, this is you're able to see my screen. So we have developed one applications for these chemistry things. Now NCERT has developed for 101 concepts. They have developed the AR, VR thing. Okay, now last month during the G20 summit, they were releasing it. Okay, so NCERT for the schools. So school children, they are being exposed to this and they are learning. So how immersively, how engagingly, how detailing they will be learning. And when they come to the colleges, see their level, right? So it has been made available to all, right? And of course, so this was done a few years back, 4 years back, which we were developing, and we were using gaming for testing and other things. So we used this game engine called Unity, and there's another game engine which is free and open source, Unreal Engine. So these are the two things we either this or that, either Unity or Unreal, we have to learn to develop applications, okay? For using it, you need not do, you should know how to use the applications. I was trying to show you. Once again, this one. See how this has been used in medical colleges. People are using it. So here, this is totally a virtual environment, right? So it has been used, and okay, I have just not recorded the things. So when somebody felt sick, how do you train doctors for emerging situation? So what happens is, for training the doctors in University of California, they do it virtually. They practice everything virtually, and the doctor says, okay, so this is a so Children's Hospital Los Angeles is using virtual reality to train doctors. See, this is one of the thing. So he is the teacher. So this is not the real person, it is a virtual person. They are all nothing, no patient, everything is virtual only. But whatever you do, with this gesture, so he is using those hands, gesture. So he presses like that. Whatever pressure he gives you, that has been measured, and accordingly it has been taken. So they practice for step 1, step 2, step 3, and see what he is seeing is the professor is seeing here through the screen, what action he is doing. So he is being tested through that, whether he is doing it correctly or not, right? And then only he is being put on. So they practice as many times as possible. And if you save their life only, they give you the marks and then how it has been done. So many things are, this is a video which was taken long back, like 5 years back, which they are using it in training in the hospitals and medical colleges. Now it has been used like many things.
Number 6, virtual and mixed reality for medical education.
Imagine peering inside the human body without an incision or a skull. Turning the heart.
So what he is using is a Microsoft HoloLens, and he is using the gesture.
Using a headset, controllers, and innovative technology, it's possible to navigate human anatomy through virtual and mixed reality. These realities can provide medical training and procedures, techniques, and equipment use, as well as simulate patient interactions in a more immersive and realistic way. As the VR/MR trend grows, pilot programs involving these technologies for the education of medical students are being implemented worldwide. Though not a replacement for hands-on practice, virtual and mixed reality are increasing situational experience. Giving students an opportunity to practice with computer simulation is a low-risk alternative and, in extreme cases, can prevent patient harm. The technology's new applications have many dubbed virtual and mixed reality, the new reality.
Okay, like this, you have it in every field. You have, I'll just stop it here. You have it in every profession. Okay, so even for training the soft skill, Walmart has purchased so many numbers of virtual headset for their floor managers, for people how to interact, how to work on it, how for the soft skill training. You can have it for any type of training, development, and all those things. So let me stop here my presentation. I would like to take questions from the audience.
Kindly write your questions in the chat box. All the participants are requested to write the questions if there are any questions.
So they are immersely engaged in class, right?
Yes, ma'am, there I can see one hands up from Sam Rao. Can you please write down in the chat box, Sam? We cannot unmute you.
What is the effect of VR?
Ah.
Good question. Right. See, whenever you have a VR device, not more than 10 minutes, how interesting. Okay. 15 minutes I can do at the age of 50 plus. Okay. 15 minutes is okay for me. Otherwise, no, no, I will remove, it will sweat here for me, right? Because it is fully covered, no? So, and it will, sweat will happen. Sometimes some dizzy feeling also will happen. Eyes, I do not know. The same effect only you will have what you have it on seeing the monitors. And now the VR glasses are coming where you can adjust the lens also. If you are wearing the specs, no, you need not wear the specs and then have the VR set. Now the sophisticated VR devices are there where you can adjust the like a lens, no? You can adjust the reading. Okay, 2 plus in my right eye or minus like that. I can have it. But there are some other effect. It will be a heavy weight on your head, on your glass. It is not like sword of Damocles, but still this is you something on us, no? So you cannot have more than, to my knowledge, 15 to 20 minutes. You need a break and then again come back and then do it. It will not be continuous. Small. So only with the applications also, the learning also will be in small packets. Okay, not more than 15 minutes. So you can, otherwise, if you want to see a movie, that is up to you. For learning purpose, 15 minutes. It has some health issues also, like dizziness or heaviness or the sweating. Many things are coming. So they are working now only. So only the next phase. The next is the glass. So just we are wearing the glass. No, after some time you get used to the glass wearing. Like that it will happen. So there are so much of advancements are coming. Apple is introducing Apple Glass. So just like your watch you are wearing, no, Apple Watch. Like that you will be wearing Apple Glass and you will be working, you will be interacting virtually. We will be seeing some people doing some gestures like this. We will think what they are doing, but they will be interacting with the some software which they can see. They can only see. Okay, we cannot see. So that is what that is going to happen, and it's happening. Ma'am, in surgery, can VR replace the actual act? Yeah, see, that is what all the sensors, no, using these sensors, all the sensors have been captured. Not only auditory, visual, the haptics, no, say even the smell also they wanted to do it. The smell is the most difficult one. They are working on it. They are able to do the touch, pressure, everything. So that is called the touch lab, haptics. Okay. So when I see the training is given, how to escape from the fire or things. So the temperature also you can, the temperature, the pressure, everything they can measure and they can do it. So it has been done. The smell, it takes a lot of things. You visit Touch Lab or Aptics Lab of IIT Madras, you will learn more about it. And there is an app developed for midwives where in the rural places to give training for these midwives to how to give childbirth, during the delivery. So when you want to catch the fetus head and other things, the pressure, how much pressure you have to apply, that is also measured. The training is there. Okay, this is how you have to do it. So they get virtually trained, and then they are going to do it in the real thing. So that is a lot of things are happening all around us. Okay, so mostly for the most complicated or you can complicated and very unsafe environment, these type of things are mostly used because you cannot train them, for mining or see in defense, like for in the war field or for mountain climbing, everything is done virtually, and then they are put when you get all those training, how to hold this, how to catch this, and how all those things, then only they are putting it into the real thing. So lot of things are happening, and this IMU and Hindustan Marine University, they have developed so many applications on the marine things, like and they have put it in their website also. You can download the apps, and if you need some Oculus Rift headset, you can get you can learn those things, how an engine or how an those things works. You people will be understanding more than me. Okay. Yeah, 4G is enough. 4G is enough even. 4G is enough for AR, VR. Do we need to wait for? No, 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 no. Already it is there. See, just it is in your hand. AR is in your hand. Go open your mobile. If you are having Android, go to Google Store. Or if you are having Apple, go to Apple Store. Put AR apps. Hundreds of apps are there. Download it, use it. Okay, that is enough. Okay, 4G is enough. 5G, it will be lot of, see, why 5G means when you're going to remotely do something, take an operation or work on real-time things, the rendering, the multimedia has to flow through the internet, over the net, right? So there the 5G will be very, very fast, okay? And the multimedia content, it will not have some breaks or some buffering, something like that. Okay, so otherwise you will not have a smooth thing. And now you can even build the 3D models very easily by many of the applications which are available as a component of the mobile phones. Ma'am,
thank you so much, ma'am. You have given a quite deeper insight into the topic. You have adequately primed the participants with the AR, VR concept as such, and right from the beginning of, what are the requirements or what are the learning needs for the Generation Z learners. So right from the beginning till end, ma'am, you have just touched on because it is such a vast topic, it cannot be covered in 1.5 hours. So you have done enough justice to it, but you have taken it through, in greater details about both the aspects, ma'am. So thank you so much. It was indeed a privilege for us to have you here today. And it was indeed a very, very informative session, ma'am. We are getting a lot of positive feedback from the participants saying that this was an amazing session. This was quite informative. And all the thanks goes to you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I would like to say a few words. So we are also offering many courses, yes, particularly on immersive tech in my department, apart from other things. So anybody can join and learn if you are very interested on immersive technology, how to develop the applications and all those things are there. Do visit our website. So a lot of things are there to learn for everyone.
Yes, ma'am. I feel it is the need of the hour that all of us as the educators, we must go into the greater details of it so that we can develop and it becomes a common thing.
Yes.
Now it is just at its infancy stage. as far as India is concerned. So I feel we will definitely be getting in touch with you, ma'am, for the courses. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your active and question answer session and participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful session. Now this is a time for another session. For that, I would like to Engineering College, AICTE approved first center to implement hybrid learning in India, Belagavi, Karnataka. So Professor Anuj Deshpande has done his Masters of Engineering from Binghamton University, State University of New York, and Bachelor's in Engineering from Visvesvaraya Technological University, Belgavi, India. He published numerous articles in national and international journals. He has done many projects related to his field, nationally and internationally. So now I request Professor Anuj Deshpande to come and take his topic on augmented reality in teaching.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jai Hind. Yeah, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I'll be sharing my screen right away. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible to you all. Can you please confirm?
Yes, it is visible.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so very good afternoon all. So today we are here to discuss about an important topic on 21st century teaching tool. So teaching has always been a noble profession, but with the advent of 21st century, the role of a teacher has become more challenging and demanding than ever before. So we all know by the beginning of 2020, how the scenarios changed when we incurred COVID-19. Especially when I was in New York, I have seen how things went haphazardly out of hand and how these augmented realities and virtual realities came into existence. However, as Dr. Maliga has rightly put, that virtual reality and augmented reality is a very old concept which came into existence in 1956. And also I would like to thank Dr. Maliga for putting it rightly about the fundamentals of Z learning and the AR and virtual reality. So now, with the firm fundamentals, I would like to dive in right into the AR and VR and how it can successfully be implemented in teaching. Yeah, and thanks, Dr. Harshini, for briefing about me. I'm Professor Anuj Deshpande, currently a faculty in the Department of Robotics and Artificial Intelligence. I've done my master's in industrial engineering in State University of New York, and my second master's, that is PG diploma in data science and machine learning from IBM. My research areas intend into artificial intelligence and machine learning in medical domain, digital transformation in educational institutions, continuous improvement, that is Lean Six Sigma Green Belt. So the overview for today's session is we will briefly discuss about how virtual reality and augmented reality plays a vital role in education sector and the benefits of VR and AR, and also the best practices and best implementations of VR and AR in Indian education system, followed by the future of VR and AR and examples and some case studies to understand VR and AR better. So, well, we all know virtual reality is a technology that allows users to enter and interact with simulated environment that feels like a real physical space. So, for example, I would like to emulate this definition with a real-time example. In the year 2019, when I was into research, I did my research in orthodontics, that is 3D printing of orthodontics. So I was collecting data from various patients, and unfortunately, the country was badly hit by COVID-19. You all must be aware of that. So it was very difficult for me to accumulate data from the patients. So what we did is without having a physical interaction or physical contact, we developed an application, Android application, that scans the intraoral of the patient and determines the key parameters such as molar, premolar, intermolar, canine, pre-canine distances, which were very important for my analysis. So using these techniques, we were able to gather data from remote locations just by installing an application. So this is the way how intuitively I collected the data with hassle-free. Okay. So VR typically involves the use of head-mounted display, which is also called as HMDs, or other immersive displays technologies, along with controller, which will be controlled using hands as well as legs, and other input devices that enable users to navigate and manipulate objects within the virtual environment. So as we all know, VR and AR have already been playing a vital role in gaming industries, right? But when we consider the grassroots level of the technology, we are able to implement the same technology in teaching and learning process by making it more intuitive and immersive. Whereas augmented reality, on the other hand, is a technology that overlays a digital content into the real world. For example, whatever you are able to see on the mobile phone, you will be able to superimpose whatever you would like to learn. For example, you would like to bring a patient, you would like to see the anatomy of a patient. You would like to superimpose these things on an existing image. This is how augmented reality works. However, we will be discussing the differences considering the criterion so that you will have a succinct differentiation between augmented reality and virtual reality, so that it will be very easy for you all to implement the same in your teaching and learning process. So AR typically involves the use of mobile phones or devices such as smartphones or even tablets, and that recognizes and tracks the real world environments. For example, using a tablet, you will be able to measure the distance between 2 points. So here, what you're saving upon is the efforts and time. So conventionally, the 2 points were measured using either by the tapes or using a human resource. But using virtual realities, the points are captured such a way that these points are measured using our smartphones or tablets. So this makes it very intuitive and hassle-free. So next, briefly, we will discuss the differences considering the criterion into picture. So the main difference between virtual reality and augmented reality is the immersive level. So VR offers a fully immersive experience. That is, you feel like you are in that situation. However, you do not feel the touch. It is intangible. It is intangible, but you can get the sense, you can get the gist of what is happening around you. So this immersive learning is very useful in education sectors to understand a lot of concepts which we will be discussing in detail in the further slides. Whereas augmented reality, AR overlays, as I discussed in the definition, AR overlays the digital content onto the real world, allowing the user to see both the real world and the digital content simultaneously. So augmented realities are often used in manufacturing sectors to calculate the inventory levels or the amount of demand or amount of supply that is required in a very intuitive way, in a 3D manner. Also, augmented reality can be used in harsh environments. For example, I have planned to establish an institute in harsh environment where there is a civilization in northern parts of Canada. But how do I go with this? So what I can do is I can create an augmented reality wherein I will be able to understand the parameters of the area to decide whether or not to go with it. This can also work in manufacturing firms. This can also work in construction firms. This can work in any firms if you have a well-structured plan. Moving on to the next criterion, that is hardware. VR requires a headset, which is also called as HMDs, head-mounted displays, and a controller, and sometimes a computer or gaming console. Whereas AR is particularly and completely an experience. So it does not require any external device, but it is in form of an application which can be put into your smartphone, existing smartphones. As Dr. Maliga rightly said, that there are numerous educational applications based on augmented realities, wherein we will be able to learn new things immersively. So there is no need of external hardware device in augmented reality. Whereas virtual reality, you need an headset, a controller, or any smart device. About the environment, VR creates a completely artificial environment that is designed to simulate a physical space. So virtually, you will be able to simulate the stuff. You will be able to simulate if you are dealing with chemical reactions, you will be able to simulate, you will be able to see the reaction, you will be able to change the chemicals, you will be able to see the effervences if there are some. So this is how virtual reality works. Whereas augmented reality, the augmented reality adds digital elements to the real world, enhancing the user's perception of the surrounding. So you feel like you are in the situation. You are in the situation. So that makes learning very intuitive. Moving on to the next, that is interactive. Virtual reality typically allows for more direct interaction with the virtual environment. So whereas augmented reality often relies on gestures, the hand movements, the voice commands to interact with digital content overlaid onto the real world. We can also find augmented reality these days in drone technologies. You must have seen drones, or you must have seen the images that have been captured using a drone. So these augmented realities help the users to locate and to get the information, which saves time and efforts. For example, if there is a fire forest and it is very difficult for somebody to go and extinguish. So in that case, what can be done is a drone which is inbuilt with augmented reality can be flown into the air, and these points, the coordinates can be located. These points can be located, and based on the image that is processed, a plan of action can be performed. This is how augmented reality can work. And specifically, augmented reality works in harsh environments and in the situation that deals with the maximum risk. Moving on to the application, VR is often used for creating immersive experience for gaming, training, and simulation. However, we are going to discuss how these techniques can be used in teaching to make it more lively and to have maximum student engagement. Whereas augmented reality is often used for enhancing real world experiences such as product demonstration, educations, right? So moving on to the next topic, that is advantages of virtual reality in teaching. So the first one is immersive learning. So virtual reality allows students to be fully immersed in simulated environments, enabling them to experience and interact with complex concepts in a more engaging and immersive way. So there are some scenarios. For example, me being an engineer, I can give you examples, numerous examples of where immersive learning can come into existence. For example, a student dealing with a mechanism which involves high risk, which involves high utilization of overhead cost. In such case, the implementation of these technologies can drastically lower down the effects, the hard effects on the learners. The second one is safe practice. Virtual reality simulations can provide a safe space for students to practice in real world scenarios, such as medical procedures or hazardous situations, as I discussed earlier. The third one is accessibility. In accessibility, virtual reality can be used to bring experiences and environments to the students that may be difficult or impossible to access in life. For example, students with disabilities, the virtual realities can play a vital role. It can play a vital role in emulating the concepts so easily and so succinctly, elucidating it so nicely that the student will be able to understand. And the same student finds it difficult in the conventional mode of teaching. Moving on to the next advantage, that is personalization. Virtual reality can be used to understand the student needs and the learning styles. So we all agree, as teachers, we all agree that every student has a unique way to understand and to learn the concepts. So these personalizations can provide and customize the learning experiences that can cater to different students. So this can be done on application development. So the applications that are available on our cell phones, these applications are designed such a way that it is going to help the society or the targeted audience in some way. Since we know that any technology that has advantages need to have limitations. That is what SWOT analysis has taught us, right? That is strength, weakness, opportunities, and trends. So some of the limitations of VR in teaching are the cost, motion, lack of social interaction, and limited physical interaction. So VR can be costly, but it is a one-time investment. It is a one-time investment. All that is present in a VR headset is set of lens that is available for less than 500 rupees starting. So if you have a smartphone and if you have a gyroscope in it, so you will be able to see these virtual realities video for free of cost with only a small investment of 500 rupees that is available on the internet. You will be able to find the same on Amazon stores. All that you need to do is just plug in your phone and you will be able to see the videos virtually. And at the end of the session, I'm going to give you a tip how to convert a 2D video into a virtual video so that you will be able to show any existing video in form of a virtual video. So the second limitation is motion sickness. A lot of us have motion sickness. A lot of them have vertigo, and VR plays a vital role. For example, vertigo. Let's consider a case of a scenario where in vertigo, a patient or a person has vertigo. In VR, you feel such a way that you are standing on a cliff, on a mountain cliff. You feel, for example, if you want to visit Grand Canyon, all that you need to do is wear your headsets, play the video, and stand. But in the virtual scenario, you will be able to move around. You will be able to see everything in 360 manner. So that makes very immersive and that makes learning very lively and interactive. So the last limitation, however, there are many limitations, but these are some of the major limitations that I have listed. So limited physical interaction. The conventional mode of teaching involves a lot of interaction and a conventional way of connecting with students, and by engaging the students maybe in form of flipped classroom or Q&A sessions. But when we implement virtual realities, we have very limited physical interaction. So depending on the virtual reality system, students may have limited ability to physically interact with the objects of the environment. As I have said earlier, the VR, the virtual reality, is an intangible environment. That means you will not be able to touch it, but you will be able to see it. Okay, so moving down to the next topic, that is advantages of AR in teaching. So the first one is enhancing the real world experience. However, we all see the real world. We all are capable of seeing a lot of things and learning from whatever we see. But there are a lot of things outside our reach, or maybe we are not able to see them in this life. But thanks to the technology, which has brought a wonderful advancement. So wherever you are, whichever part of world you are in, you will be able to reach there virtually in no time. So that is what metaverse is doing. I'm pretty sure you all are aware what is metaverse. Metaverse is a very fancy word, is a very fancy topic that deals with things that are present virtually. And you can buy things virtually there. For example, if I want to buy a pair of shoes, I'll have to pay some amount to buy shoes which are intangible in nature, but I can wear that shoes virtually. So this is how world is going to be. So the enhancing the real world experience, augmented reality can enhance the experiences by providing additional context and information. So by providing additional context and information, these things help the students to better understand and engage with their surrounding. So there is a famous saying in Hindi, "Jo dikta hai, wo bikta hai." So just imagine what I would like to see, what really happens with the digestion. I would like to understand how the digestion works. All that I will do is I will install an AR-based health application wherein I will be able to see each one of these processes so closely that I will be able to understand the actual process rather than learning from the textbooks, right? So the second one is active learning. Augmented realities can facilitate active learning by encouraging students to explore more and more and by interacting with the environment. For example, the drones. If somebody is not able to reach there, I'll be just sending a drone. I'll capture the image. I'll process the image with the help of image processing. I'll create an application and I will create my own virtual environment wherein I will be able to walk, wherein I will be able to see things as it is in the real world. Next one is flexibility. Augmented reality can be experienced through a varieties of devices. For example, smartphones, tablets, etc. So this makes it more accessible to the students, and also the teaching learning processes enhances rapidly. So this is what is taught in 21st century, and these skills or these tools are called as 21st century learning tools, which are adopted by teaching learning processes. Let's move on to the next advantage, that is visualization. Augmented reality can provide visualization to complex concepts, making them easier to understand and remember. For example, rather than rote learning or rather than mugging up a definition, I would rather teach the same concept using augmented reality, showing the students how the actual process works. So this really increases the learning experiences of student by reduction of efforts as well as time, which is mandatory. And not to forget, the 21st century teaching promotes the student engagement. So these are some ways how you can improve the engagement of the students. So some of the limitations of augmented realities are limited immersion as compared to virtual reality. Augmented reality may not provide the same immersive level of that of virtual reality. So that can limit its ability to fully transport the student to the new environment. But in virtual reality, you will be able to move because you have the hand gears and the leg gears, along with the input devices, the output devices that you wear, the HMDs. Technical challenges. In technical challenges, augmented reality requires a high precision and a high degree of technical expertise to develop and implement. For some, this seems to be a barrier, but again, this is just a one-time investment. And trust me, it is very easy to learn, very, very easy to learn. Limited content. Augmented reality content is often limited to simple text, images, and videos, which may not be sufficient for some teaching and learning processes. Augmented reality is still in the naive stage of the life cycle, unlike virtual reality. But this can make the teaching learning process, this can bring the teaching learning process to the next level if implemented rightly. So the last limitation is distraction. However, augmented reality can be distracting as intuitive it is, potentially disrupting the learning experience. As we all know, the attention span for the students are different, and some of them find very different, very difficult to focus on a concept. So these augmented reality concepts, as we are superimposing it on a digital content, we find a lot of changing scenarios because we are totally into an augmented world. So this can be distracting for some of the students, but however, this can be overcome. So moving on to the next one is the benefits of virtual reality in teaching and in augmented reality, virtual reality and augmented reality in teaching. So the first one is enhancing student engagement and motivation. So what would happen if we implement virtual reality and augmented reality in teaching? So these VR and AR are rapidly emerging technologies, and that can be used in enhancing the learning experience of the students. And some of the benefits we will be discussing now are enhance the students' engagement and motivation, where these technologies play a vital role in engaging and fascinating the students. However, students are going to learn the concepts, but in more intuitive way. So these technologies can transport the students to virtual world and environment. For example, I am a history teacher. I teach history and I want to show the students how the history has evolved, the genesis of the history, and how we have come to the present case scenarios. So I would rather use virtual reality and augmented realities in such cases to show the historical, cultural differences, language differences, and how the evolution evolved slowly, right? So this can enhance the students' engagement and motivate the students. VR and AR provide immersive and interactive learning experiences. So these technologies can enable students to explore complex concepts and ideas in a visual and interactive way. For example, they can use virtual reality to simulate scientific experiments or explore historical sites, as I explained. Moving on to the next, it facilitates the experimental learning. So these technologies create a virtual environment around us that simulate real world situations and scenarios. For example, pilots, the trainers train the pilots such a way that they are given the real life test in a simulation room with the help of augmented reality and virtual reality. So you all must be knowing the reason, right? So the processes that deal with high precision, high risk, harsh environments. So these technologies can make a drastic change. So this can also provide the students with hands-on and experimental learning opportunities that may be difficult or expensive to replicate in the real world. Rather than experimenting on a real aircraft, so the same pilot wants to learn on a simulation-based reality, which uses virtual reality and augmented reality. So now we will move on to the applications of virtual reality and augmented reality in teaching. So virtual reality and augmented reality have numerous applications when we discuss specifically for teaching and learning process. The virtual field trips. So VR and AR can transport students, as we have discussed. So this can be particularly useful for the school students with limited budgets, or the students who may have not the opportunity to travel to certain locations. The field trips, or maybe picnics, or maybe you can also turn flipped classrooms into augmented reality classrooms. That is possible. Simulation-based learning. Virtual realities and augmented realities can create simulated environments. So it creates an environment wherein you will be able to simulate rather than going to that place and dealing with the process in real. So the students can practice and develop their skills. For example, medical students can use virtual realities to practice surgical procedures, or flight simulators can use to train pilots. Virtual labs. Augmented realities and virtual realities can be used to create virtual labs. For example, if you are dealing with high precision methodologies wherein you do not want to incur losses, any sort of losses. So you make use of a virtual reality and augmented reality, and you create a simulating environment around you, such a way that you allow the students to conduct experiments and explore scientific concepts in a safe and uncontrolled and in a controlled manner. Right? So when you conduct the same thing in a controlled manner, you are free of experiencing any sort of hazards. So these are the applications how VR and AR can be used in teaching. So moving on to the next topic, that is best practices for integrating virtual reality and augmented reality in teaching. However, I said virtual reality requires a hardware devices. Again, it is one-time investment, and augmented reality requires an application that is supported by a smartphone or any smart devices. So integrating VR and augmented reality, VR and AR technologies into teaching can be beneficial for both teachers or instructors and students. But it is important to approach this integration thoughtfully and responsibly. So I'm going to explain some of the most used techniques in education systems. So the first one is to align the technology with learning objectives. So before implementing augmented realities and virtual realities in the education system or in the school, so we should consider the specific learning objective that we want to achieve. So we should understand what the students want to achieve. Then it will be very easy to design the software. It will be very easy to use and implement AR and VR in teaching. So this technology should be used as a tool to enhance and support these objectives rather than being the focus of the lesson itself. So what I want to say here is VR and AR should be a supporting a tool in education system that can enhance the learning process rather than making it as a primary source of learning. Since I said AR and VR both are in naive stage of the life cycle, this can easily be used as a supporting tool, which can be very immersive, and students will be able to understand the concepts virtually and in reality. So moving on to the next one, that is provide appropriate training for instructors and students. So VR and AR can be used to train instructors and students in many ways. So by providing the training that can help everyone, the instructors and students, effectively with incurring less cost, with incurring less efforts, with incurring less human resource. All you need to do is just implement or just develop an application which deals with training a faculty or a student. So moving on to the next one. to ensure accessibility and inclusivity. So it is important to ensure that virtual reality and augmented reality technology is accessible and inclusive for all students, including those who have disabilities and other learning issues. So we know not all students have a same learning pace. So we need such a system to implement in this century that will help each one individually by personalizing the content for them. So this concept is called as learning index. So once the teacher is able to understand the learning index of individual student, then we will be able to achieve the learning outcomes. So to consider ethical and privacy implication. Of course, when we are implementing AR and VR, we should consider the ethical and privacy implications. So as with any technology, considering augmented reality and virtual reality, this can raise ethical and privacy concerns too. It is important for us to consider these implications when integrating the technologies into teaching. For example, if today we want to implement a virtual reality or an augmented reality to simulate real world scenarios. So at the same time, it is very important to ensure that students understand the differences between simulation and reality. It just cannot happen that if the student wants to learn, he will just opt for simulations. There are some things that need to be learned in reality too. So there is a thin line between simulation and reality, which a proper implementation of these technologies, after implementing these technologies, one will understand. So it is very important for us to understand the ethics and privacy implications. So moving on to the next, we will discuss the future of virtual reality and augmented reality in education. So the first one is emerging technologies and trends. So we know that virtual reality came into existence in 1956, whereas augmented reality is already in a developmental stage, but still in a naive stage when considered in broad case scenario. VR and AR are becoming increasingly accessible and affordable nowadays. As I said, you are getting a headset for less than 500 rupees. However, it is made from cardboard and a pair of lens. So these tools are accessible and affordable thanks to the advancements in hardware and software. So it is very easy for engineers to develop softwares if they know the requirement of the clients. So this has resulted in development of new educational applications, maybe tools such as immersive simulations, interactive digital textbooks, or notebooks, the applications that are already available on Apple products, that is in iOS, and virtual field trips. So to talk about this, additionally, the rise of remote learning and hybrid models have accelerated to adopt these technologies. Also, I would like to tell you, the Maratha Mandal Engineering College is the first institute in India to adopt digital transformation and hybrid learning. And in tomorrow's session, I would like to show you a virtual trip using these technologies, whatever we are discussing today. So moving on to the second one, opportunities and challenges. So the use of augmented reality and virtual reality in education have several advantages, such as increased engagement, because having a robust engagement with the student is the most prioritized parameter in teaching and learning process. If one is able to engage student, then he will be able to connect with them. He will be able to deliver the concepts in a more elucidate manner. So it can also help students to visualize complex concepts, explore new environments, and develop practical skills by being in virtual environments. However, there are also challenges when we consider implementing VR and AR in education. So we need a specialized hardware and software. However, we all know that there is already existing hardware device for VR, But when it comes to augmented reality, the softwares change from person to person, from education, maybe a first grade, second grade, up till 10th grade. Recently, our team have established virtual reality learning here in Belgaum, Karnataka for a school for 6th grade, 7th grade and 8th grade, making their teaching and learning process in a very intuitive way. So students are able to understand the laws of physics. They are able to see the chemical reactions such a way that no textbooks explain elucidatingly. So it's a good thing. However, assessing these technologies, I think it's a right time to implement these technologies in Indian learning systems. And these 21st century tools have already been established in most of the prestigious universities across Europe, United States, and also Australia. And also, I would like to tell you, there are universities in India as well who are aggressively working on augmented realities in learning process, specifically in the field of dentistry and medical sectors. So let us discuss these things using examples and case studies so that we have a clear understanding how these technologies help in enhancing teaching and learning process. So when it comes to virtual reality and augmented reality in teaching, education, there are already many examples, as we discussed, for successful implementation for different subjects and different level of educations. But let us see some of the examples, some of the proven examples where they were able to assess and validate the results of the students, the learning process. So the first one is immersive simulation. Virtual reality and augmented reality can create realistic simulation of complex scenarios. So the places where we have complex scenarios, consider medical domains, or let us consider manufacturing domains where everything needs to happen at that point of time. So in such case scenarios, we can create a simulation environment around us. Maybe a historical battlefield to understand what weapons, what animals were used in the wars. So these simulations can help the students learn by allowing them to explore and experiment in a safe and controlled environment. Virtual field trips, digital textbooks. So we all know, as Dr. Maliga showed us a video about Google textbooks, a Google HoloLens, wherein you will be able to use a digital textbook, and every page you turn, you will be able to involve immersively and learn the concepts. Isn't it interesting, right? Skill training. So a lot of industries, for example, a lot of institutes are adopting to virtual reality and augmented reality. So nowadays, we find a lot of conceptual learnings. We have a lot of online sources like Byju's for students. We have Udemy's, we have Coursera's, which all deals with practical learning, project-based learning, or blackboard teaching. But we can implement these technologies in places such as front desk development, soft skill development. We do not find institutions for these, right? We do not have any institutions for front end, I mean the front desk development, or the front desk receptionist, how to interact with people, the public relationship management. There are no institutions for this. But we can create augmented reality scenario wherein we will be able to experience and learn these skills free of cost. It is possible, right? So some of the case studies on virtual reality and augmented reality in education are the Google Expedition. So this was the one which had created a hype initially, since augmented reality and virtual reality were not clearly known for a lot of, were not known to a lot of people here in India. So Google Expedition, it is a virtual reality platform wherein it provides a virtual field trips to the students. For example, they will just have to add the name of the location. Just locate. Maybe I would like to visit Leaning Tower of Pisa. It will take me there in no seconds. I will be able to roam around the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I will be able to understand the structure. I will also be able to understand to what angle it has leaned. So this is the immersive level of learning. So I believe Google Expeditions, it is a nice tool for the school students who are engaged in sociology or maybe historical events, and they really need to be present at the site. So these things can play a vital role here. Moving on to the next, Microsoft HoloLens. Microsoft HoloLens is an augmented reality. It's not just a virtual reality, but it is an augmented reality headset. A headset, a part of virtual reality, wherein an application is inbuilt into that headset by making it an augmented reality headset. So this headset can be used in medical schools to train students in complex surgical procedures. So again, this involves minimum utilization of resources. Maybe you can experience many procedures. You can experience many ways of learning. You can also experience a lot of things. And also, if in your free times, the student can have a trial and error. For example, if I do this, what happens? If I don't do this, what happens? So these things cannot be tested on a corpse, right? Or a live patient. So these are some crucial things wherein the medical students can take advantages of. The Anne Frank House VR. So this one again had created a hype during a World War, and the same thing has been recreated in form of augmented reality. So the Anne Frank House virtual reality is a VR experience that allows students to explore the hiding place of Anne Frank and her family during World War II. So we have read about Anne Frank in the textbooks, but we do not know the reality. A lot of history students, a lot of sociology students, a lot of students might be eager to understand how the family escaped from the war scenario, from the rage of war. So it has been used in classrooms to provide immersive and emotional learning experience. So it is also important, learning without emotions. Of course, we can learn without emotions, but just imagine learning with emotions will take the students to next level. So that is only possible if we take the students to the site of happening, the place of happening. Again, we will not be able to recreate the history, right? So the next and the only way is by creating an augmented reality around you. So with that, the students will be able to learn emotionally, and which is very important in today's learning. So now I would like to discuss some of the resources and tools that can be used before implementing in the real life scenarios. So virtual reality and AR hardware. So we have a lot of devices. For virtual reality, you have n number of devices available, which are also called as HMDs, with cameras, without cameras, motion controllers for your arms, for your legs. You can run, you can jump, you can perform any activity that will be reflecting in the virtual environment. So some of the popular virtual reality and augmented reality hardware options are Oculus Quest 2, which is quite expensive, but again, with one-time investment in schools or colleges, with having one virtual reality lab, this device is going to give a mind-blowing learning experiences to all the students. HTC Vive and Microsoft HoloLens. So again, these are three different companies which have a same agenda, that is virtual reality and augmented reality hardware. So virtual reality and augmented reality softwares, as we have discussed about hardwares, there need to be a supporting software that supports a particular software. right? So there are many softwares available online for virtual reality, for augmented realities. You can just drop in at the Play Store or App Store. So you'll be able to find any augmented reality softwares which subjected to your domain expert. For example, I come from a domain of mechanical engineering. I also come from a domain of computer science engineering. So I would like to integrate these two things. I would prefer making an augmented reality application rather than referring to a mechanical engineering textbook and referring to the concepts of computer science engineering. It is time consuming and also a cumbersome issue for me. So in such case, I will be able to develop some application which will be able to create a virtual environment around me. So what would happen? For example, I deal a lot with reducing queues in hospitals with the help of queuing theory, which is an integral part of Lean Six Sigma for healthcare. And I'm a practitioner. So rather than implementing various techniques of queuing theory in the real life scenarios in hospitals, what I would do is I would create a virtual environment by having stations. Stations are nothing but human resource. By having various stations, I would analyze the amount of time spent at particular station by the patients and how can I improve the overall flow of the queue. So this makes the entire model to run hassle-free, right? So these applications can be used based on client-based. So you can tell me the requirements. Based on that, the application can be produced. So moving on to the next one, that is online resources. So there are varieties of online resources available for educators who want to learn more about using virtual reality and augmented reality in teaching. So some of the most popular resources are Education Wiki, the EdTech Times, that is for virtual reality and augmented reality in education guide, and Virtually Tech. So these websites can give you more insights on the resources and tools that incur with virtual reality and augmented reality. Training and professional development. So many organizations, again, they offer professional development opportunities to their faculties if it is an educational firm, or maybe the practitioners if it is a medical firm. So these techniques can be used wherein you can teach them. You can teach them personally in a personalized manner, in a very personalized manner, rather than having a general discussion. You will be able to get to their level and teach the things. For example, there is a wide concept of anatomy. Anatomy is a very big concept. Anyways, I'm not from that background, sorry for that, but I'm giving you an epitome to make this understand in a very simple way. So I believe anatomy is for 2 years, that is first year and second year, anatomy and 1 and 2. But how would I assess and validate a student in what part he lacks? Anatomy is a very big concept. Again, referring to the textbooks, referring to the resource materials, referring to the videos. However, videos make things intuitive, but it does not give you an immersive experience of learning, right? So if a problem domain is understood, we will be able to target that domain and make the student understand. Simple, just hitting the bullseye using these technologies. So these are some of the resources and tools that are involved in implementation of virtual reality and augmented reality. So now I would like to discuss some tips for getting started with virtual reality and augmented reality in teaching. So again, it is not a big brain thing to implement virtual reality and augmented reality in teaching. However, a lot of schools have been promoting augmented reality since there was COVID. And a lot of researchers, a lot of practitioners are developing applications. A lot of medical practitioners are collaborating with software engineers to discuss about the problem statement so that they are able to develop applications for the doctors. So some of the tips I would like to discuss today are starting small. So it is very important to start with a small manageable project to build your confidence and regarding AR and VR. So considering, let us consider creating a simple VR and AR experience to introduce a new concepts, maybe in physics or chemistry. So it's a nice idea to start with one small concept, maybe a practical based learning, or we can call it as VR or AR based learning, maybe having one unit or just one module. So the second one is collaborating with others. So collaboration plays a vital role here because let us consider collaborating with other educators outside our institution. So instructional designers or educators or developers to share resources and ideas. So they can share their ideas and they can share their resources. As I said, you can convert any 2D video to a virtual reality video. I'll be talking about it. So you can just exchange ideas and see how beautifully and how in more intuitive way you can implement the same in your teaching process. Focus on learning outcome. It is not just about implementing, that is what I believe. However, technologies before implementing should be assessed and should be validated if they are matching the outcomes, the learning outcomes. So when creating virtual and AR content, so it is very important to focus on the learning outcomes if it is meant to be achieved. And yes, it is meant to be achieved. So overall, virtual reality and augmented reality have enormous potential in educations. So there are many resources and tools available to help educators to get started. You all can approach me anytime. Since there is a limitation of time, I'm not able to include the real-time applications wherein you will be able to use. However, I'll be sharing my email ID and my phone number. You all are free to approach me, and I'm happy to help regarding this.
Thank you, Professor Anuj.
Yeah. So I'm open for a Q&A session now. Please feel free to ask.
There are a few questions from the participants' side.
Okay.
First is there any common platform for getting access to VR and AR based medical and nursing related learning opportunity? So is there any common platform from where we can access this AR and VR related to education?
Yes. I'll get to that. So can you all see the point number 8, that is Medscape 3 immersive anatomy. So this is specifically for medical students wherein they are able to understand the anatomy virtually. So considering nursing, yes, I'm really not sure the entire structure of nursing program, but yes, in a lot of complex scenarios, AR and VR are rendered so that they are rendered so that they meet the client's expectations. So I'm sure it will really help all the nursing practitioners.
Okay, and thank you so much. Yeah, there are many VR related or AR related content.
Sure,
I'll also, yes.
Right.
So, and one more question is there that they want to know how to convert 2D image to 3D. Tips for converting 2D.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So what all that you need to do is take a video, 2D video you can download, or maybe a video that you have shot on your cell phone. The same video needs to be uploaded in software. These softwares are already available on Google Play Store and also app stores. These softwares convert the 2D images or 2D videos into 3D. But remember, your mobile should have a gyroscope. Gyroscope is nothing but it is a sensor, or it is a hardware device that senses your geoposition signal or geopositional location. And most of the smartphones today have gyroscopes, and I believe it shouldn't be a problem. So you can download applications which are already available on Play Stores, how to convert 2D into 3D video, or how to convert a normal video into virtual reality.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Anuj. It was really an enlightening session, and it was energetic, enthusiastic at the same time. And you have put in a lot of efforts to let us go through each and every aspect of it because it's not a very simple thing, but you have presented it in a very, very lucid manner. And tomorrow we are going to have a virtual tour of your setup. So
Right.
that we will definitely are looking forward to. And thank you so much for this session. It was indeed very, very detailed and to the point, and was very, very relevant to the topic which was given to you. Thank you so much for the.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for your time. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Anuj, for such a great session. Thank you so much.
Thank
To
you.
the all participants, feedback link is shared in chat box. Kindly fill it. And thanks for very wonderful listeners also, because we have got a great participants here. So thank you so much. See you all tomorrow with new topics at same time, 2 p.m. Till then, take care and God bless you all.